Hey guys, I'm installing this wig from Nadula and all of their information is already in my description box if you want to check them out. The first thing I'm going to do is, of course, put the cap on my head, and I also do cut out little holes for my ears to help make the cap lay flatter. And I'm using the Got to Be gel in the black bottle in order to tack down my cap, and I'm making sure to not forget to also tack down the cap above my ears. Next, I do take the Got to Be Freeze spray and I spray that over that layer of Got to Be gel, and I blow dry this whole thing on a cool setting for about 20 minutes. You can stop blow drying however long it takes you as soon as all of the cap is actually dry and it's not tacky. And then I like to take my Ruby Kisses foundation palette, which I get from the beauty supply, but I can tag below where you can find it on Amazon. And I mixed the two shades that I felt like would give me the perfect shade, and I put it all over the cap, especially on the hairline of the cap. I make sure not to miss that part at all. Next, I cut the cap off. I cut the parts of the cap all the way until I reach to where I tacked it down at. And I do like to get as close to the edges as I can. So if you see any extra cap still that you can cut off, I'd recommend just going ahead and cutting it off. And then I took my witch hazel toner to clean my forehead off. And I had also sprayed the the Ericka J Skin Guard in front of my hairline before I went in with my first layer of glue as well, which is also from Ericka J. So I do like for my lace glue layer to be about an inch thick. And I also put enough glue so that even after I blend it out and I smoothen out my layers, that there's still enough glue for the lace to actually hold on to for like a couple days or a couple weeks, depending on how long you like to have your installs in. And I did do 2 layers of this, even though I only recorded me showing how I put on the first layer. And this is the wig that came from Nadula. The only thing I did to this wig was pluck it. And this is the texture, you know how it looks. But the lace, I'd say, is just a little bit dark. So if you're lighter than me in skin tone, I'm not sure how you'd like this lace on you. I'd probably just try to get a transparent lace as opposed to this like medium brown one, because it's actually really dark. And you'll see like how dark in a second. But when I put the wig on, I just like to bring the hairline of the wig as close to the shine that I see on my skin as possible, just so I don't have too much extra lace that I'll have to cut off, and I wouldn't have to cut off any of the hair that I had already plucked. So when I put the lace on, I do like to use my rat tail comb to press the lace into my layers of glue. And before I cut off the extra lace, I do like to go ahead and tie it down with this fabric that I have. I'll link that below as well to see where you can find it on Amazon. And then I blow dry this whole thing for about 10 minutes just to make sure that my lace is really like melting. And I leave it there for like 10 minutes on the heat setting. When I was done blow drying it, I did take the fabric off and I started to cut off the extra lace. And this is when I really started to notice that the lace is really dark, and I just did not like that. There's no way that I would have got away with the wig without baby hair. So for sure, after I cut off the excess lace, I did start to go ahead and glue down the corners that were still not sticking. And then I proceeded to parting out my baby hair. I just parted it out across the entire hairline because I just was not pleased with it. I only keep my wigs on for a couple days, but still while they're on, like, I need to like it. So I parted out the hairline across my whole I parted out the baby hair across my whole hairline, and I made sure to tie the rest of my hair so it won't get in the way. And I just cut the baby hair with this razor. To mold my baby hair into place, I am using my Nairobi mousse, and I'm also using this tool. It's like a brush and a comb on the same little edges tool. I love it because I use the brush part to kind of like get the product in the hair, and then I use the comb part as well as with my like a finger trace to style the baby hair in the direction that I want them to go in. So if you haven't seen my baby hair tutorial that I did on the closure, then I will link that up here, and you can also see how you do baby hair on the closure. I was working kind of fast here because I did not want the moisture of the mousse to somehow affect the bond that the glue had with like the lace, because sometimes you'll notice that if you take too long or if you're using too rough of a hand, the lace will start to lift a little bit once you add this mousse to it to mold baby hair. So I'm just working fast, and as soon as the baby hair was to my liking, I did tie it down and I blow dry this on a heat setting for about like 15 to 20 minutes. Next, I wanted to get the top of the wig really flat, so I just ran some of this wax from this wax stick onto the entire hairline, and then I combed through it before I started hot combing through it. I've said it so like in every single hair video that I have, I love the hot comb with wax to really flatten out the top of your wig before you style it. So when I was done hot combing most of the front of the hair, I took the band off, and my hairline looked much better to me with the baby hair added to it. But I really wanted the baby hair to be more sleek than I wanted it to be fluffy. So what you could do if you want fluffy baby hair is just comb them out after you blow dried them with the mousse. But I didn't want it to be fluffy, so I added some got to be from the yellow bottle instead, which is just going to gel them into place. And this way you really don't have to fix your baby hair every morning. They really won't get messy, out of place, or anything like that. And that's the look that I preferred for this style. After I finished that, I just used my crimp iron to add some crimps to this hair. It was really easy to add them because I didn't want them to be like really hard, stiff crimps. I wanted it to be more wavy crimpy, if that makes sense. On this day, my allergies were like not playing with me at all. I felt terrible. I kept sniffling throughout the entire video. I couldn't even get into it, but I ended up liking the curls a lot. I think after I crimped one side, I started to feel a little bit better low key. Can't even lie. But I definitely needed to define this part a little bit more. I'm still using a foundation from the Ruby Kisses palette with this brush from Morphe that I love. And of course, I crimped both sides, and I thought it was very cute. Like, I feel like Beyonce would be proud. Again, this hair is from a company called Nadula. Their info is in my description box already. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, even though I didn't feel good, but I'll see you next time.